Summer is here, and you know what that means. Jeff Keighley getting way too excited about puppets.
You guys all know I love my puppets.
Bad touch, stranger danger.
Nope, it's another Steam Next Fest, where indie developers of all sizes and shapes decide to give us a taste of what they are cooking. And my oh my, there are delicious dishes for us to enjoy. I'm here to give you a lowdown on what games I think you should give a shot and perhaps put on your wish list. Like with my previous two videos, I will mostly be focusing on indie titles that I believe need some love. So no, I will not be talking about the solo leveling game or Mina the Hollower, as I'm pretty sure tons of people are going to be playing about those games and talking about those games. So with no further delay, this is the June 2025 Steam Next Fest Games to Play Turbo Edition. Deadass Disco asks the question, what if Batman Arkham Combat, but with a boppin' retro soundtrack? And yes, it does kick ass. Deadass Disco has a very simple combat system, featuring light and heavy attacks with rush attacks and combo finishers that definitely feel familiar if you played any of the Batman Arkham games, but have their own flair that make them fun to play around with. The real fun with this game is how well the combat meshes with the music, and how every punch feels like a drum beat. The game will have even more moves and combos in the full version, so I'm hoping it will not only be fun to play, but also fun to master. According to the demo, there will also be character customization, which looks pretty nice in my opinion, and the game even lets you upload your own music, which you can adjust to be as fast and as slow as possible by adjusting the BPM, which is such a good feature for a game like this. I love games that let you upload your own music. I had a lot of fun playing this demo. It was just fun to zone out and vibe to. Honestly, if it just gets response video YouTubers a different game to play in the background, I'll be happy enough. Definitely give this game a shot, as it really does have a nice combat system along with a strong visual and audio style. Now the game I'm going to talk about next came from a personal recommendation from a very good friend of mine, who absolutely loved the developer's previous last game, Plague Inc. While Plague Inc. was a massive strategy game where you tried to end humanity with the nasty case of the pandemic, their new game After Inc. Revival is all about raising humanity from the brink and creating a new home for them to completely ignore and be ungrateful little Now I never really played much of Plague Inc., as those meticulous strategy games kinda make it hard for me to wrap my head around. But thankfully, After Inc. is more my style, as they made the game more of a mission objective-based game. Each map gives you a mini-map to explore as you try to reach objectives like getting a certain population size, or claiming enough of a certain territory, or killing a certain amount of zombies. The game also gives you tons of random events that can shake up your game, and make you really think about what you want to sacrifice in order to achieve your goals. Do you want to sacrifice the happiness of your citizens so you can get further along in your objectives? Or do you want to focus more on their happiness so you can make sure that the game goes along longer so you have more opportunity to achieve your objectives? The full game will even have different types of leaders that will add modifiers and buffs to the game, making it engaging to go back and master these missions. The demo is actually pretty long as well, which is definitely a plus, as it gives you a lot to chew into. Even though I'm not a huge fan of these civilization development games, this game definitely has my attention, and I definitely think if you like those types of games, you should wishlist it. Now I will give a warning for this game, that if you do have issues with photosensitivity and weird trippy visuals, then hold on to your lunch, because this is gonna be a bumpy ass ride. Hamashika is a game that I would call very weird, but also strangely engrossing. It's all about getting to point A to point B through through these trippy environments, shooting, slashing, and parrying enemies in the chance of topping that sweet, sweet leaderboard. The art design reminds me a lot of LSD Simulator and some of those really old trippy PS1 games. Now, I'm not a speedrunner at all. In reality, I'm probably really bad at it if my Chaos Theory speedrunning attempts have anything to say about it. But this game has awakened something in me that not a lot of other games have. It has this more addictive one more run appeal that makes you want to pick up the controller and try again. According to the Steam store page, it says the game is going to take 10 minutes to beat and will only have one level, which is procedurally generated once every day. And I believe when you boot up the game only gives you one instruction: to just focus on the game. Even though there's tons of chaotic and trippy visuals, as long as you focus on what's important, then you can win. It feels weirdly therapeutic and very engaging in a way that's very hard to explain without you playing it yourself. I'd say give the game a shot, even if you don't think you'll like it, because it's really hard to explain the experience without you playing it yourself. Just make sure you aren't too close to the screen while playing it. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have the slow and creepy No I'm Not Human, which I swear is some kind of old creepy pasta title. The game is all about a natural catastrophe where the sun decided to go Super Saiyan on humanity and made the earth really hot during the day, which makes life very unbearable for obvious reasons. Not to mention there are also these mysterious creatures called visitors, which are these creepy ass monsters that assume the appearance of humans and are not very friendly. Reminds me a lot of some of those Korean horror films that is more about body horror and kind of the intensity of not knowing who's your friends and who's your enemies.
Hello, excuse me, hello? Are you radioactive zombies looking for brains or survivors thanking the one attribute that's kept you alive?
Zombies.
Oh, okay.
Didn't feel right to lie to you.
Of course.
The core gameplay loop for this game is listening to these stranger stories and inviting them in, or telling them to kick rocks. You even learn ways of telling if one of the humans you brought in may be a visitor or not, by looking at specific parts of their body, like if their teeth are perfectly white or their eyes are bloodshot. The first major praise I'll give for this game is the art style, which makes every human look like it's an Attack on Titan character, or one of those Korean horror graphic novels. The animation and the attention to detail is really great, with some grotesque looking artwork that just really sells the uncanny feeling of the game. My only real complaint for the game is the game doesn't really give you an indication if you've correctly identified a visitor or not, which kind of just makes you feel like an asshole.
You make me sick!
I would definitely give this game a shot, if only for the creepy vibes alone.
Let the game begin.
Now this game kind of feels like cheating my rules that I set up earlier, but it's by several game creatives that I absolutely love to pieces, so I'm gonna do it anyways. Hotel Barcelona is an action roguelike being made through a collaborative effort between Swery and Suda51, a very special partnership indeed. Now get this, in this game you play as a lone law enforcement officer who has to investigate a small town city for a serial killer with special power. Oh, Swery, you cheeky little bastard. You did it again. I assume Suda51's involvement was making the main character fight all these quirky serial killers in a high intensity fight, because it really reminds me of the setup of No More Heroes. The combat is very chaotic and fun, the enemies are really fun to fight, and the dialogue is very endearing. In a way only Japanese devs really can pull off. The music was really good as well, as it made the demon slaying very addictive. There also seems to be some light-based relationship mechanics, where you can buy gear and talk to the locals in the hotel that you're staying at, which seems really cool. I hope they develop it more. Supporting Swery is kind of a no-brainer for me, but if anything that I've shown has made this game appealing at all, I'd definitely give the demo a shot, as it is pretty content-rich, and will give you a good idea of what you're getting into. So post-editing Bolt here. So apparently as I was putting together this video in my very timely manner, like I usually do, I noticed that the demo for Hotel Barcelona was not available anymore. Not entirely sure why. I guess they thought it would be interesting for it to be a timed exclusive. I have no idea. Swery works in mysterious ways. Anyways,
And now for something completely different.
One of my favorite parts when working on these videos is it encourages me to go out and look into games that I may not have given much attention to. Love Me is a survival horror game being made by Rooster Syndicate that follows a sad young girl, Kimino, who breaks into her school to achieve happiness. Yeah, good luck with that, mate. The main core gameplay is very reminiscent of games like Slender to 6 Pages or that one anime yandere game. You know the one.
Oh Lord, I think I'm coming down with a case of the vapors.
On the outset, you're given a compass to navigate this maze-like area with lockers and classrooms as you look for love letters to burn. And once you burn enough of those letters, you can gain access to new areas. But as you're exploring those areas, you're also being tracked by these hideous gross monsters that are supposed to be a reflection of how you view yourself. Freaky. The core gameplay is pretty simple on its face, but it's also very tense in a way only these 3D chase horror games usually are. I especially like the touch of seeing your dead corpse where you last died.
Oh God, it's so good. So good.
During the making of this video, I actually had a talk with the developer on their Discord, sharing some of my thoughts and chatting about the game. I talked to him about how the difficulty of the chases, and sometimes it can be hard to determine where the monster is with moments like these. It was actually a very enlightening chat, and he was very willing to listen to my criticism, and is overall a pretty cool dude. I recommend joining their Discord to follow the developments of Love Me and their other game, Room to Room. Thank you, Rooster Syndicate, for the chat, and I can't wait to see more from your game. Before we talk about my last recommendation, I'd like to go through a few games that I either had very little to say, or in their current state would not necessarily recommend you playing them now, but maybe keeping an eye on them. Darkenstein 3D was a fun enough boomer shooter that had issues with visibility and some weird bugs that made it hard to play. Gecko Gods is this cute platformer with a gecko that has fun platforming and traversal mechanics, but some of the objectives are pretty vague, and honestly I was confused on how to complete some of them. I'll probably pick it up when it's on sale, but it wasn't particularly compelling. Date Everything is a game that I've kind of had on my radar for a while now, and the demo is definitely worth a go with some cool designs and definitely some designs. My major hang-up was with the jokes and the dialogue being kind of cheesy and not particularly my thing. But overall, I had a good time. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a great return to form for the Ninja Gaiden series, with its return to 2D, and has some excellent level design and challenges. It's coming out next month, so you won't have to wait long for it. Holston is this really cool Russian survival horror game that has this really cool intense combat where you switch between first and third person. It has this really cool oppressive atmosphere. Lastly, I just want to give a shout out to Jet Runner, which is a parkour game that feels and plays really great. Now on to the main course.
Go after her! Now! That's suicide, sir! But she's...
Usually when I end these lists, I recommend a game that I really want you guys to play and give a try, and this is that game. Eric Schulm is a isometric stealth game being developed by a team of 19X AAA devs who worked on games like Mirror's Edge and Little Nightmares, and it really shows with this demo. The game has you sneaking through the Scandinavian-inspired city Eriksholm as you dodge the Kappas and figure out what happened to your brother that made everybody in the freaking city call you a wench.
We don't care about your cargo.
Empty.
We're looking for the wench.
The wench? What wench?
Good morning, Glenn!
This is the most British game ever, bro. From what I played, I really enjoyed the game, and it really reminded me of 7 and Gone Rogue, which was definitely a good sign because I really enjoyed those games. The focus on environmental puzzles and distraction-based stealth is also very cool, as we don't really see those types of games that often. And the way the game meshes stealth with more intense action set pieces really impressed me as well. I especially like that part at the end of Chapter 1 where you have to maneuver your way around these boxes as the guards all try to catch you. I'm hoping in the full game we get some access to some tools or maybe a weapon to knock some guards out, like a blow dart, which the game seems to hint at with the in-game notes, but who knows. I do highly recommend playing the demo as it is pretty long and it gives you a good idea of what to expect from the game gameplay-wise and story-wise. Like I say with most of my videos, stealth games don't come out as much as we would like them to, and I have a very good feeling this game is going to be a darn good stealth game. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you guys found at least 1 or 2 games to add to your wishlist, as that's kind of the point of the video. It's to help spread awareness of some of these games that may have not have picked up on your radar, but games that I think you guys might enjoy. And hopefully one of these games will become your new favorite game. Well, that's about it for me today. So have a great day and keep on gaming. Bye!